Good morning, Desiree, and to our viewers. We're here at the Centurion Licensing and Testing Station in the capital city. Now, this particular station is one of many around the country that actually closed at the beginning of the lockdown, meaning that all its services came to a halt, and of course affecting a whole lot of services that a station like this, not just as I said nationally, would of course be rendering to South Africans, like learner licensing, renewal of a license disc. But today they obviously here to make sure that all the necessary check and balances are in place ahead of the station reopening after being closed for almost 2 months. On the 1st of June, that is when the services here will be starting again. And the other point is something that will be done differently, and that is the learner tests will be done online, meaning that the system has been changed. It will now completely be computerized. You will be writing your learner test different from how we used to do it in the past, where you wrote it on paper with pen, of course. Now you will be doing it online. The turnaround time will be much quicker as well. You'll be getting your results almost immediately. And this perhaps is the fruits of the fourth industrial revolution that is really kicking in. Let's speak to the RTMC CEO, Advocate Makhosini Msibi. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. After 2 months of no services, it is now time to pick up the pieces and start again. Are we ready?
Good morning, and to all the viewers. We're more than ready. We're competent ready. We had an ample time for planning and ensuring that when the systems opens as of the 1st of June, we are, of course, more advanced. Indeed, you'll then realize that this period has also given us an opportunity to go digital. As we open on the 1st, to ensure that we also deal with the backlog, we will also be ensuring that those that are looking or seeking and looking forward to have the learner licenses is now going to be done in the computerized fashion. But at the very same time, we have also planned to deal with the backlog. You'll know that we have a 3 months backlog. And indeed, if you look in terms of the availability of our facilities, throughout the country we have about 850, which we call are the VTCs, vehicle testing centers, and then we have the DLTCs. And the DLTCs, we're talking, when we say DLTCs, the driver learner testing center, which we have about 503, and then you have the RAs, that is the registering authority. It's about 800, but if you then lump those numbers together with the post office, which is of course our agent, we're sitting well above 1,002. So there's an ample time for our people to be serviced as of the 1st.
Have you been inundated with calls, perhaps from frustrated motorists, some who are confused, who didn't get the right information on time? What was the relation?
Indeed, people have been seriously frustrated. We have been inundated with calls. But you then have to manage this, because some of the people are coming from a point of misinformation or lack of information. But we have handled it quite well.
Let's talk about the computerized system that will now kick in place for the learner licensing tests. What was the process there? How long did it take to convert the system? The challenges?
We have long launched this system, but we are now opening it for the market now. Planning took us a year. Now we're done with the planning. Yes.
Okay. And let's talk about the national picture. 1st of June, it's all systems go at this particular testing and licensing center. In the other provinces, will all the stations open, or will it depend on perhaps the readiness of each center in each province, each region? How is it going to work?
Centers are dependent on the state of readiness. We're dealing with the assessment. On Monday, we'll be finalizing the assessment and we'll give the total numbers. But we know all the major testing centers will be opened as of the 1st of June.
The threat of the coronavirus remains a big concern for many citizens. Have you made sure that all the necessary health protocols are in place? Staff are given, the PPPs and so forth. Are all those protocols in place?
Well, all the COVID-19 protocols have been followed to the T, as you can see even in this station. We have equally then trained all the staff members in relation to how to handle the COVID. We have also dealt with the crowd management. We have also dealt with the social distancing. We have dealt with the PPEs. All our stations are ready to keep.
Right, thank you so much. There you hear it. It's all systems go for most of the licensing and testing stations around the country. Here in Centurion in particular, this one will be the one where they will be making sure they test if everything is in place. A briefing that is set to take place here by the Minister of Transport, Mr. Fikile Mbalula. We think he has just arrived there. We can give you the visuals of him arriving, joined by the various transport stakeholders such as the RTMC, of course the City of Tshwane here as well, to make sure that all the staff are in gear, are prepared to reopen the licensing stations and testing stations here in the capital city. We have around 7 licensing stations in the capital city and about 4 testing stations in Pretoria. So, but that, of course, the numbers that also latched onto the national figures. So it's not just about what's happening in the capital city. And you see the officials there also, their temperatures being tested, them being sanitized before we go in for the briefing where the minister will officially be opening this particular center that will start rendering its services from the 1st of June. Desiree?
Patricia, thank you so much for that update. I imagine we will be coming back to you at some point.